guys, so we are back for episode 12 of Big Brother 23. This one being Power of Veto.
Yeah,
and we get a returning competition with a little changes.
With a twist. I like that they've been doing that. They've been doing that with a lot of them this season, and I'm happy with that.
So, a few of the competitions that they've already reused, the Bowl Arena one, but this time they added like the little obstacles with the couches. Yeah. And instead of knocking all of them down, so it's just kind of
get a specific number that's totally different than
so it's a lot more difficult. It's instead of just like throwing them up there hoping you hit all of them, you have to like worry about which ones.
About it. So that's cool.
They had the one where you had the water bucket one, which that was Power Veto, right? That was a cool competition.
That was Power Veto.
The one where you had to like make as little noise as possible was cool. The wild card.
I feel like they've done something sort of like that before too.
I think so.
Yeah, so they're repeating stuff. Obviously, they always do. But like last season, that was our biggest annoyance was that they were just like repeating it and then they like put the puzzle backwards or whatever. And I was like, that's not enough different. Like.
That was the triple.
That was almost like not even
much.
fair, and I got it. You know, we're in a panini and whatever, but it was just. So it was nice. That was a complaint that I definitely had. It's nice that they've been adding twists onto classics. Yeah. So it still has that like. It's still same idea, same competition when it's supposed to be, but. Okay, we're gonna like upgrade it / change it a little bit, and that's been really nice.
So for those who don't know, the competition we are referring to, the original version is basically like a bocce ball size ball that's like got some weight to it. You have to roll up a ramp that's enclosed, so you can only put your arm so far. You have to roll it up and then wait for it to go down, which is what I assumed it was, but obviously they added a little twist to it because I was a little confused.
And normally it's a higher number you have to hit. Like they be out there until they have to hit like 300.
I believe 300 is the one that I'm thinking of because 100 seems too small.
Seems way lower than normal.
And I think it is 300 because they don't have the extra like ducking down. Yeah. So basically, it used to be like 300 and like it was always a really cool competition because someone can be at like 200 and then they drop it and then it goes back down to 0. So this time they had a volleyball, which was obviously a bigger ball, but they then had to duck under a net at the halfway point, which makes it obviously more. You have to worry about ducking under. For anyone that's like over
my height, because if you don't know, I'm under 5 foot. So for me, it looked pretty low. I probably still had to like, but like barely. And then you're what, like 6'2"?
Like 6'1". So it's just an extra.
So for him, you'd have to like bend in half. So like that would make it a lot harder for most.
We saw Claire had some issues with it.
She's like what, 6 foot?
I think so.
Or
she's really tall. She makes really Whitney look small. Yeah, and I know Whitney's already short, but like.
But I don't feel like she's like 4'11" short. No. I feel like she's like 5'2" short. Yeah. And she makes her look puny.
I think it looked a little bit more difficult only in the sense that you have to duck, and I feel like the volleyball would be kind of harder to judge than like a normal ball, but you also have a larger ball, so like it's easier to catch.
Yeah, it was just I would put it like it was just different.
Yeah, I don't think it was any easier or harder just because it's a different element.
But it was nice to see.
It was very cool.
Good job, Big Brother. Good job, CBS.
I'm glad,
I appreciated that.
If you're going to repeat competitions, do something like this, where you change it up and, like, make it kind of fun and interesting. But jumping back to the beginning of the episode, obviously we see the fallout from Whitney and Hannah, being nominated.
Whitney was truly blindsided. Hannah was just like, damn, my effort didn't work. Yeah. But, like, Whitney was like, I don't get it, and I'm like, oh, we know you don't. But you're also in my mind like, I like Hannah, so I want her to stay. I like the cookout, so I want her to stay. But if I was in that house, I would probably not want her to stay unless I knew she was like a close ally, because I think she's smart, unlike Whitney, that doesn't know what's going on, that I could probably manipulate if I was in there. But for me watching it, yes, I would prefer to keep Hannah. Put yourself in the position. If you want to be biased, if you want to look at it as just a game, like then there's so many different choices that could be made. Yeah. It's very rare that it's like super, super black and white regardless.
I think Alyssa and Sarah Beth are very intelligent, and I think that's why they want Hannah out, because
they know she's intelligent.
Correct. I mean, they're correct to say like she's a threat. It's gonna just be hard because I don't dislike anyone on this cast really, except for Team Jokers. Which even in general, then, like,
but they're not the worst. They just seem like the worst because the rest of the cast is so good.
Yeah.
as opposed to what has been lately. It's been like such a jumble of.
I feel like after Whitney, it's going to be kind of like sad to see people like on the block and see people go.
Except for Brittany.
Except for Brittany. Like even Azah and Derek. No, Azah and Derek.
Brittany is still before them for me.
Right.
But then yeah.
And then Derek F. I heard some talk about Derek F being a target because no one's going to put him up. And you know he already promised the it's going to be all hell up in this house once I'm nominated. It's like, okay, whatever.
We'll see if you even want to wake up, but if you're just like even more sleepy because
all hell means I'm getting out of bed and going to start some drama, I guess. He's like, I'm not going to cook for you guys. I'm not going to clean anymore. Okay. I'm actually going to sleep 24 hours instead of 12.
No, I'm like not worried about it. I'm only team them because I'm team cookout, so we can keep them intact.
But they're still on the bottom for me.
But they're still at the very bottom of that alliance for me. And if they weren't in the cookout,
I wouldn't care.
I'd be like, peace.
We see a little bit of
Whitney putting a little effort. And what she said wasn't totally stupid. But she just really doesn't know what's going on in that house.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem. Like, if she really knew where the alliances were, then she would know that, like, I don't know, maybe she wouldn't even try it. She just, like, doesn't even know what's really happening.
She was blindsided on being nominated, and she also kind of got thrown under the bus by the entire house because everyone wanted to listen Christian out. And like, Whitney was also a target.
We have no choice. She wasn't in the alliances, not because they are actually threatened by her gameplay.
Right.
Which is also kind of why it's like, like I say, if you look at it from just like a gamer aspect, getting rid of Whitney is stupid.
Yeah, I would much rather get rid of Hannah
because that girl can outsmart you, probably beat you in competitions. Like, getting her on the block, if she's on there, you should get rid of her. So biased to her, yeah, she gotta go. Like, why would I get rid of Whitney? What's Whitney gonna do? Whitney doesn't even know why she's on the block.
I think that is the conversation being had right now of like a potential flip is like, Whitney is not. It's been proven not to be good at competitions, and also she's very transparent.
As bad as I would have thought she would be.
I mean, but she's not.
But yeah, no, she's not winning.
And like her game's also transparent, whereas Hannah holds her cards very close. Like Whitney's slipped up and has like literally admitted, but then lied about like who her targets are. Whereas Hannah's like playing it very smart and is she's being very kind of covert.
Smart. She's amazing. Which is why I want to watch her play. But I'm saying if I was in that house and that isn't my like hella close ally, she gotta go. She gotta go. Yeah. Okay, but like she's gonna get saved and she is gonna take revenge on Christian. So he's gonna fuck up by keeping her.
Yeah, I mean she is gonna nominate Christian and Alyssa.
Oh yeah, she's not playing.
But what I was gonna say is I think it's sad because I really don't hate the gameplay that's happening. Like Sarah Beth and Alyssa are making the right move. It's just sad to see.
I'm just not on their team, so I don't as a viewer I don't want Hannah to go. I'm not partial to them. I don't want Hannah to go.
But as
someone that respects what they're doing and understanding logically what they're doing, they're smart as shit for it.
Sarah Beth is shooting herself in the foot as we talked about last week. Tiffany has already planted that seed of Sarah Beth's going to be nominated next week if she doesn't win.
Yeah.
Or if Alyssa doesn't win.
Yeah, they don't get Veto or some other power.
And I don't think Wildcard's happening next week. It might. I don't know.
They'll probably skip a week without Wildcard or without something else, but eventually they'll bring in something.
I think teams end... I mean, it's rumored to end this week. We don't know for sure. I feel like it would be smart to end it right at jury, which would be next week after this. But also, a little bit of the drama, Whitney overhearing Derek X...
Yeah, I'm surprised they showed it on the show. I'm not, though, because it was kind of a boring week, so they needed some stuff for some episodes.
Well, that was important, though, because she moved her pitch to, like, backdooring Derek X to Christian.
That's true. Also, is like, I'm not down and out, just like freaking Frenchie. But it's like both of them basically, well, one tried to self-evict, and the other one was like, well, I do miss my kids. Like,
but Whitney is not even on the same boat as Frenchie, because Whitney's actually trying.
She's trying, but she did sort of give up for a second. Like, she was like,
but I feel like most people do that. Most people do that, like, in the beginning. No, but I'm saying, like, in the beginning of the week, they're like, oh, like, it's hard. And then, like, a day or two passes, and they're like, no, like, I need to get my shit together. And that's when most of the game, like, potential flips happen.
Yeah.
Is the day or two before the eviction. I mean, we're literally down to, like, 12 hours away from the eviction. And there's a potential flip that could happen.
Yeah, and Whitney's doing some work.
Or if not a flip, a very close vote.
A closer vote, not so, like... cut.
The cookout may have to be. They may end up being exposed,
or have to do stuff they wouldn't want to do to make it look like they're not exposed. But that's so risky.
I honestly kind of want something like that to happen, just to spice up the game. Like, I don't want the cookout to... I mean, honestly, like, I said it earlier, it's like, I'm okay with some of the cookout members being evicted. It's just like, I don't want
Tiff... There's a good 2 that can go.
A good 2.
There's a solid 2 that could have left already.
Xavier, Tiff, Hannah, and Kyland are the ones that I want to see.
Those 4 are my 4. My top person is easily Tiffany. Like, if I were to say, and normally when I watch a season, like, I don't have a number 1 from the jump. It actually takes me a while to really...
Tiffany is really it.
Tiffany has
and then
really
Kyland of the guys.
Been it.
Kyland of the guys, as I feel
so
like
far, but he's not super solid for me. Like, that could switch to Xavier. It could switch to someone else.
Yeah.
If Christian really just, like, straight up, like, continues to dominate hella hard like that, he could win me over, because I don't think he's a terrible person, and he is new, but he's trying to learn. So if he's then breaking all these records,
Derek X too,
then he's gonna get.
I feel the same way about Derek X.
Derek X and Christian are kind of same.
Like, if they prove themselves,
but
like they.
Cool to,
June is the only one.
And June,
but that was season 4. Yeah.
Okay,
so
but
I'd say there's been
like
2. And they're
so I would love to see another person of Asian descent win.
It's always been Asian women.
It was women. Yeah, that's true. Because hasn't even been a lot on the show overall, even mixed.
And I forgot to mention the last episode. Derek X had like a really cool like DR about representing like Asian men on the show, because honestly, there's not been a lot, and like Asian people in general like have not been really on the show that much,
or even big in reality TV that's that mainstream like that.
Which is one thing I really appreciated about like the casting of this season. It's like, obviously, like the amount of people of color in the house is like
amazing,
the most that has ever been. And
but it shouldn't be like that. Like, dead ass. We shouldn't even be having that conversation.
I know, it shouldn't be.
Here we are.
But like,
we have to be grateful, because they took so long and refused to do it.
I can't really remember the last like cast that was like this diverse.
No, it's always been primarily white and primarily white males.
And then a few like, here's the gay guy, here's the black guy.
Oh, but you only get one. You only get one of each.
Yeah, and it's always been stereotypes of like, here's the overly flamboyant gay guy, here's the black woman who's very religious. And it's like, it's always these like very narrow things that they have to fill.
That's like, we already have that in the world and on TV. Like, just cast real ass people that want to be on the show, that would make good TV and know the show. Like,
it is a conversation to be had, and I'm glad that it's finally being addressed.
Okay, here's the thing though. Next season and the season after will show me if they're really gonna make a change, or if they did this just to like be like, okay, shut up, we did it, you know, one time, okay, now,
and that's one thing. Like,
so I need to see. It's not just
a one time
thing. It's like actions over time. And my thing is too is like, there's other countries that have this same show that have diversity.
Yeah,
we are that.
But even Big Brother Canada had its own issues.
Yeah, I mean, but like still,
they fixed it before us. That's for sure.
Long before us.
But I mean, I'm not going to act like Big Brother Canada is perfect, because they have their own issues with casting, especially recently. But like, it's a lot better. It's a lot better than us.
Yeah, they definitely actually watched us and learned a little bit. Like,
one thing I will say about Big Brother Canada 5 in specific is they had 2 people who were French, and like, I understand like Canada has a whole province that's French, but like, they really did not cast many people from Quebec. And like,
and my thing is they can sit here and say up and down, oh, well, we don't get people putting in their, okay, you don't get people trying, right? They don't audition. That's funny, because you can go on YouTube right now and watch a bunch of people of color on YouTube saying that they've auditioned multiple times, even gotten far multiple times for a year, and they watched it.
Literally, Azah, Alyssa all said that they had made it super far multiple times.
So it's like, that's a BS excuse. You can't say that. It's like, well, how do we pick people of color if we don't have people to pick from? No. That's not true. That's not true. I don't ever want to hear that excuse.
And also the whole argument of like, well, I mean, white people are the majority of the population. It's like, okay, we're not like,
but not really anymore.
Not really
now
anymore.
It's like,
and also, it's a TV show. It's a TV show. You want to get as many people out there who are not the same and like are different.
I'm sorry.
Come from different backgrounds. Like, that's the whole point.
What is like? That is one of the biggest conversations of people that, like us, sit here and talk about the show, is the lack of diversity and the like favoritism that is very obvious and has been in recent seasons. It's like they wanted to clean it up, right? After like season 15 for sure, like they're like, we gotta clean this shit up, right? But all they did was bring in like problematic people that look like super cute little white rainbow unicorn people, and they weren't even, for one, and for two, it was like now all you did is instead of trying to like clean it up, you went in like the opposite direction. Instead of like diversifying it, you just were like, just white it out. Okay, but white people aren't the only people that watch this show. And don't you want everybody's money? Like logically, if you think about it and you weren't giving a fuck, but business wise, wouldn't you want to mix it up? Because then you get more of those populations watching, the views, the money, that like there was clearly a problem in the upper heads and in casting and just overall of that aspect, and then just where we are in history too. But like hopefully this is the start of a new, and it's not just a shut up, here you go.
Yeah.
So,
just to bring that all back, like Derek X gave like a very good confessional on it.
It was nice,
and it was like someone.
I didn't love him at first. He's really won me over, and I'm really glad that there is an Asian male in the house dominating.
Who's also this young. That's one thing I want to say is
nice.
Like he is a very like Gen Z on the verge of millennial, like Asian American man who
first generation,
who is on the show.
Yeah, which is
and
nice.
like
and
it
actually is like
unique personality.
Unique personality. He's willing to learn about it and try, and he's also like uncliche. Like he's cliche, but then he's breaking those and being uncliche because like, and look at him, like I'm not saying he's not smart, but look at him dominating the physical competitions.
Yeah.
Most people would not put him in that box and say that he could do that, and he's freaking killing it. And I'm not surprised. I mean, he looks athletic to me. I'm just saying, but like to the world, and like he was saying, being able to put out a different image for other people like me to look up to and see if they can do it, I can do it. He is showing something different, and that's really, really nice to see. And
I think it's evident in the fact of Derek X is probably one of the most popular house guests this season, up there with Tiffany, with Hannah, with Kyland. Honestly, like I think those are like the top list. Like they are always at the top.
Favorites, yeah.
And it's just because, like, I mean, they're not perfect, and that's what makes them like amazing to watch.
I mean, and I love him, and like maybe he'll win me over even more, but like, God, Tiffany just kills it for me. I'm sorry. Tiffany is TV gold. She's Big Brother gold. I love seeing a mom. I love seeing a dominant personality. I love seeing someone that can do good TV and is smart and is good gameplay and can win some competitions. Like I wouldn't call her a comp beast so far, but she's still won something. Like, you know what I mean?
We'll see.
So we'll see. We'll give it time, but like overall, she's like the full package for me, and I stand. I really hope she wins, and if not, like we got to give her like queen status, like a Janelle, like a Vanessa, of like a shoulda won, amazing at the game, period. Like badass woman.
One thing I will say is I was talking with someone else who also watches Big Brother, and we were saying how even people like Derek and Dan who have ran the house have done it not so covertly and subtly as Tiffany is doing right now.
Tiffany, like,
she's really
took that
killing
blueprint and is like killing it. And
no one has dropped her name. No one. And like,
no one has
if you
her
can
on
find
the
it,
radar.
please like let us know. But like,
And
I do not remember.
They should. If they were smart, they would. But she's just like doing it so.
And it will come
well.
eventually. But like the fact that she's going this long,
hopefully she'll be smart enough to
cover
cut
her
them
tracks
and cover her tracks.
And she has the cookout to cover her. She's really golden. Like, she is so golden.
Her son should be so proud.
Yeah.
Because Mama's killing it. And I want to see more moms on the show, and I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Because that's the thing, too. Like, you know, you got to look
it's
like a model and be perfect. But also, the other thing is, if you think about it, like, a lot of moms don't have the time, the money, or the
resources.
Or the strength to leave your kids for that long, even though it'll be worth it and it's a one-time thing. Like, it's hard. So I get why there isn't a lot of moms in all those aspects, but like, I love seeing it. I mean, I'm a mom, so obviously, but like, I love it. It's amazing, and it's great to watch her. Like, just, she's so smart.
Yeah.
Like, we give Hannah and Sarah Beth credit for being smart, and they freaking are. But
no, Tiffany's on another level.
Another level because she's under the radar. Like, Sarah Beth has already kind of showed it.
It's because I think it's because she has, like, the wisdom of, like, being an older woman, being a mom. Like, she has the knowledge of, like...
A super fan. She has to be a super fan. There's no way. She knows.
That's why I love all the super fans this season. Like, Alyssa, it just makes it so much better. And, like, even the recruits...
They actually know what's happening. And, like, yes, the recruits actually want to learn.
Yeah.
And want
or,
to
like,
play.
are actually adapting well to the game. Mm-hmm. And, like, I know Derek X isn't technically a recruit, but, like, I'm
this
counting
casting was...
It was really good. Because I love everyone for the most part. Everyone that's still in the house.
Yeah.
For the most part.
For the most part.
And, like, even the ones I dislike, I'm like, I take them any day over the previous
like,
casts.
Season 21.
Yeah, but basically, just to wrap things up, Christian, Hannah, Whitney, and then Claire, Azah, and Derek X were included in the veto. The veto competition ended up going to Christian. Obviously, Derek X was right behind him, and Azah
did
too.
Pretty good.
Everyone else was just kind of
Yeah, they were definitely.
Derek X did very well. Obviously, he was really close to Christian.
Really good.
Azah did well.
Yourself from this.
The previous competition, miss looking at the ball, moving it like a millimeter over,
and then looking at other people and dropping it.
Honestly, I would have targeted her after that. I would have been like, you threw that. Like, let's not even, like, play around.
You threw.
I think the only reason that she isn't getting... I think the only reason she's not getting called out is because she's complained about being a pawn this, like, whole time. Yeah.
She doesn't do anything.
I really hope they pick
wake
it up. That goes for all y'all on Team Jokers. Brittini, Derek F. I'm hoping that one of them gets put up next week just for the drama. Coming off of being a have-not.
It will be so upset.
Apparently Brittini got sick from being, like, a have-not, which I know, like, has happened. I know...
Yeah. But they didn't really showcase.
Nicole A and Ian got really sick last season. That's really this episode. There's not much. You on the eviction tomorrow and the endurance competition.
We are going to be, like... letting you know right away. So for those that don't like spoilers, read the caption, baby girl, because it says spoilers. We're gonna spoil it. We're gonna let you know. If you don't want it, don't click on it.
For the future, for people who don't want stuff spoiled, we don't... Here, let's just explain this. We make videos for the episodes, but we do not cover purely the episodes. We cover what's been happening in the previous few days.
Real time.
Like
real time. We are not for casuals.
Time. No.
If you only want to know what's happening in our opinion on casuals,
will be spoiled.
It'll be spoiled. So
just
if
know
you don't like that,
just make sure you watch the episode before you watch.
Anyways, like, comment, share, subscribe.